But had she been younger, maybe, you know what I'm saying? So did you know that a home mortgage is one of the biggest expenses in retirement, and most lenders look for a debt to income ratio of 36% or lower, meaning if you make $3,000 a month, they want to see all your expenses and debt specifically to be around $1,000 of that or less. Your body is the only home you have to live in, so it's important you don't sell yourself short. You see the double meanings in there? Okay, no, okay, you will. The problem is that next to housing costs, what you spend on your health is the second biggest expense in retirement, and most people are not, and I repeat, not prepared for that. Stay tuned for a little story of a woman I met and who said something that I will never forget towards the end of this video. What's the solution, you may be asking? Well, the Free to Give program is an incentive program designed to help motivate and inspire doTERRA wellness advocates, or even wholesale customers, shout out to y'all too, to strive for financial independence, aka freedom. This program focuses on taking steps to become debt-free so more of the doTERRA family can be in a position to give back to local and global communities. And isn't that the ultimate goal, right? Kind of giving a portion of what you've earned back to others or those in need. These steps include videos, stories, a book specifically designed by Blaine Harris, Charles Coonrad, and doTERRA, on top of recognition for each milestone. Boom, you accomplish. To join the Free to Give Club, simply complete the enrollment form in the link in the description area below. Once you have become debt-free in one of your target areas, just email freetogive@doterra.com and send in validation to prove that you have paid off your debts in that area. Once your validation is approved, you will receive a certificate and token commemorating your accomplishment and will be featured on the Free to Give recognition webpage. So why does this all matter though? Well, I wanted to share with you a quick little story that I mentioned a little earlier in this video and why I will never forget what this woman said. Okay, so this happened the other day. I was coming home and I just parked, where I live, and there was this woman, let's just say she was around 65-ish years young, there we go, and she was just walking on the sidewalk with a walker, like a walking assistant with little wheels on it, and so she's, I could tell she was advanced in age, more senior than myself, but having a little bit of, physical struggle with walking. And so she, mentioned like, hey, do you like that car? And so she was referencing the one that I was driving, and I was like, yeah, it's great. And as we talked a little bit more, she shared with me that she moved from Florida. She paid off her Las Vegas condo in cash, which was like a big accomplishment. But because of the renter to owner ratio of where she was at, she wasn't able to extract any of that equity from her home or even, get another home to live in. And so she was put in a tough financial bind because she's retirement age, she's relying on her own Social Security, and she even mentioned that she's pretty much waiting for her ex-husband to die so she can get his Social Security, or half of it. And then on top of that, she mentioned that she has a couple kids, her son of which is not open to, taking care of, his mom or her when she gets to the point where she can't do anything like feed herself or use the restroom by herself or anything like that. But her daughter was more open to it and was actually willing to help, and she made note of that. And basically, she was in a situation where I asked her, I was like, so what do you need the money for, or what's going on with your financial situation? And she was like, well, I need money to pay my bills and utilities and insurance and things like that. And as I mentioned earlier, your house is your biggest expense in retirement age, but your health is the second biggest one. And I could clearly see she had some things with her health that maybe she needed help with too. But she said something towards the end of our conversation to kind of end things that I will never forget. And she ended things by saying, well, it's too bad that I'm too old to turn tricks. And I was like, all right, have a good day. But because I live in Las Vegas, Sin City, because I know what that term means, because I went to urbandictionary.com, and if you haven't been there yet, I'll just summarize it and say the term turning tricks, especially when a woman says it, is typically more like, strippers might mention that, but it's when they convince a John or a man, to give them money for, you know, inappropriate relations and trick them out of their money and trick them into thinking they really care about them when they don't. And she said it in a joking nature, but with a serious intent. And I was just kind of taken aback, and I won't ever forget that, because in her mind, you know, she was flirting with the idea, but because she was, you know, at an age where maybe she's less desirable, let's just put it nicely, that's not an option for her. But had she been younger, you know, maybe, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think, obviously, that is the way to go. I mean, your body's a temple, and there's a lot of other legal, respectful ways to earn an income. Let's just put it that way, okay? And with that being said, before we go down a road, or keep going down a road we probably shouldn't, because we got to keep this family friendly. Health is wealth, and that starts with financial and natural wellness education that we don't get in schools growing up. And obviously with divorces, or with kids, or with separations, or with a whole bunch of situations, it can make, you know, situations tough, and I totally get that, and I empathize with her in her situation as well. But so many people focus on making money at the expense of their health and relationships, I might add, when they're younger. Then when they get older, they would pay anything to get their health back. But sadly, it's too late for most people, because the damage has already been done. And, you know, I could talk about a lot of people who are in that situation, and at that point it's just trying to maybe, you know, get a notch or two of quality life back. And if you can, that's a big win, you know, especially if you can do it naturally. But for a lot of people, not so much. I've also learned that money is not everything, but it does make life easier when you have more of it. But there's also a law of diminishing returns at the same time. And so, you know, there's a range of happiness when all your basic needs are met, for like food, shelter, clothing, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like the very base, you know, of like getting all your four walls covered, and, you know, all the basics for your needs for survival. And then after survival, then it's more about thriving. But that's more of, you know, moving towards self-actualization, which is the very peak. We won't get into that in this video, but basically just know that we all got needs, and it's important to satisfy our basic ones for survival, so that we can move on to our higher needs that will help us reach the best version of ourselves. But not only that, but the debtor is slave to the lender, and ain't nobody got time for that long term. Now, a lot of companies or people may use debt to maybe cash flow a business, or to get what they want temporarily, but at the end of the day, long term, really the goal should be paying things off. Because although cash flow is important, although, you know, getting things that we want is nice, really we don't want to be a slave to people or companies long term, and that's biblical. All right, you can look that up. So speaking of what you could make time for in the area of financial education, LiveTraders.com is an educational training platform for your finances if you're looking to learn how to trade in stocks or Forex markets from home, either as a profession or as a form of side income. LiveTraders.com has been the #1 trading education firm since 2015, and for 4 years in a row. Make sure to subscribe and follow their channel, and visit LiveTraders.com and get a free ebook, schedule a 15-minute strategy call, or log in with a trial of any of their services. You can learn more about them with the link in the description below. Highly recommend it. Again, it's just another tool in your tool belt to help your financial education, so you don't have to talk to random strangers who look like a cross between The Rock and Mr. Clean and Vin Diesel and an alien, and talk about how you can turn tricks. Alright, so instead of turning tricks, how about we make our finances into a treat, there we go, that will add value to others and our community. Alright, you see how I kind of turned all that around and tied it all and weaved it together? No? Okay. Anyways, well, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click the like button if you did, share this video with somebody that would benefit from it, and most importantly, check out those links in the description below. I promise there's no tricks, just treats, and it's not even Halloween season yet. Alright, it's the new year, 2020. At the time of this video, we're gonna finish this video strong, and we're gonna continue to make this year our best year ever, and every year after that going forward. And I'll see you in the next video.